Hi, I'm here with Vancouver photographer Bethany Schiedel, and Bethany specializes in wedding and family photography. She recently took some beautiful photographs of my family, and I thought I would bring her here today to ask her for some tips and tricks about getting the perfect family photograph. So thanks, Bethany, for being here.
It's my pleasure.
First of all, I think maybe it would be interesting to hear a little bit about your background and why you became a photographer. It's quite apparent that you love what you do. Mm-hmm. So how did you get started?
After doing a simple darkroom class in high school, graduated and went traveling. I found myself at one point in Tibet, and with my camera I was taking pictures. And that's when I really fell in love with taking pictures of people specifically. When I came home and developed pictures and saw what I captured and the emotion that I was able to capture and the rawness, and the realness, I realized there was something to this. So I went to school and to hone the craft, and afterwards all my friends and family, they knew I was a photographer, so the natural progression to becoming a family and wedding photographer, that happened, and I love.
It's apparent that you love it. It really is apparent that you love what you do, mm-hmm. and you do such a great job of it.
Thank you.
I'm sure that most moms out there can relate, and you and I are both moms ourselves, that when it comes to choosing a family photographer, it can be really overwhelming. Yes. You go on Google and you search Vancouver family photographers, and there's literally hundreds of photographers that will come up.
Yep.
So how would you advise people in terms of choosing a photographer to entrust their precious family mm-hmm. photographs?
Absolutely. Google can be intimidating. Like you said, there are hundreds of photographers that come up in Vancouver alone. So my first thought is, ask your friends, who did they go with? And what was their experience like? Was it amazing? Would they recommend that photographer? And then go back to Google and search that particular photographer and look at their website, look at their portfolio, look at their blog. So you get recent work on their blog. Do you connect with their work? Put yourselves in those pictures, and can you see that picture on your wall? Do you want to have that piece of art in your home? Mm-hmm. And if you do, then pursue them a little bit further. Get to know that photographer, email them or call them, talk to them, go for a consultation, and start getting to know them. Check them out on Facebook and Twitter, and if you can connect with them personally, mm-hmm. that's a good thing. But you don't have to be best friends with them, but it's good to be able to connect with them.
As moms, we don't have our pictures taken very often. Mm-hmm. For a lot of us, family photographs might be the first time that we've had a professional photograph taken since our wedding.
Yeah. And
that can be overwhelming. Mm-hmm. So what do you recommend for women in terms of how much makeup they should wear during family photo shoots?
Mm-hmm. Well, I often tell my clients that it is a really good opportunity to go get your makeup professionally done. But at the same time, you want to communicate to your makeup artist that you want to look natural. You want to feel like yourself. You don't want a ton of makeup on, but you want to feel comfortable. You want to just have that note. You want to know that you look good, so that when you are in front of the camera, you can relax and think about other things. You can just be in the moment, knowing you look good.
And for me, I know that when I looked at the pictures that you shot of our family, I felt very comfortable. I felt relaxed. And because of that, you were able to get some really great candid shots of our family. Mm-hmm. And I think that seems to be a desire that a lot of people have, is to capture those moments that are spontaneous and not posed.
Yeah.
Is that a really difficult thing to do as a photographer? Or is it something that, do you have a technique for achieving that look in pictures?
Yeah, absolutely. Candid pictures are, they're my passion. They're also my biggest challenge in photography. It sort of sounds contradictory, but I always pose your family first, and then I'll tell you to do something. And then while you're doing it, I'm able to capture those candid moments in between. But I can't just, it doesn't really just happen. No one feels like totally comfortable in front of the camera to just put it on. So I often have to do the posing and pull it out of you.
So at the end of the day, when the shoot is done, you wait really patiently as a family for the images to come back that you probably stayed up till 2 a.m. editing, and you get them back. It can be so overwhelming because there can be hundreds of proofs to go through.
Yeah.
So what do you do with your clients to walk them through the process of choosing those images that they're going to hang in their home or give to family as gifts?
Mm-hmm. Well, it goes right back to the planning. When we first meet, we're talking about product right at the very beginning. How do you want to display these images? How do you want to share them? So when you come into the studio for your viewing session, that's what we're doing. We're talking about, well, how do you want to display these images? So say, a lot of people will come and they'll be like, yeah, we want one really large piece for over the mantle, or we want a cluster of images from the stairs or wherever. So then we'll talk about pictures that work well in those spots. Once you come in, you have the slideshow. After the slideshow, we go through all the images. We start narrowing down your favorites. And then from your favorites, then we create the product that you want to display.
And I think that one of the services that you offer, which is a home consultation,
yes,
is amazing, because I think a lot of people don't necessarily have an eye for what's going to look good where.
Yeah. And
because you've become so intimately connected with the photographs that you've taken, you could probably look at a space in somebody's home and say, this image is the one that is going to look amazing here, and kind of counsel people through that. And I think that that's an incredible service that I'm not quite sure that most photographers offer that. So I think that's a little added bonus.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
In the services you provide. Mm-hmm. Well, those were all of the questions that I had for you today, and I want to thank you so much for being here. And if you want to check out Bethany's work, you can visit her website, which is imagesbybethany.com. And you can also check out the photographs that she took of my family on the 30sgrind.com. Thanks a lot. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Melissa.